the high-stakes multi-million-dollar cartel claim initiated by the Estate Management and Business Development Company Limited, which you know as the EMBD, against several contracting companies and individuals is set to proceed to trial. This has been a conversation in the general landscape for quite some time. We have the privilege of speaking with Attorney General Reginald Armour, who is here to discuss the pressing issue that has been making the headlines very recently. While we understand the sensitivity of this matter and respect the legal proceedings currently underway, we look forward to gaining insights into the broader implications and the Attorney General's perspective. Thank you for joining us this evening, AG Armour. It's a pleasure to have you.
Very good to be here, joining the public and yourselves.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, AG, we would like to get an understanding. Can you please offer an overview of how we arrived at this point in the matter? Specifically, can you explain why it took 7 years before the case proceeded to court?
Well, I'm happy to inform, yes, and it would not be correct to say that the case took 7 years to proceed to court. The awards were handed out in 2015. The EMBD spent 2 years doing some very serious investigations, including experts in the field, and the case was actually filed by the EMBD in November 2017. The defense of the defendants and the individuals who have been sued was due in December 2017. And since December, the defendants have launched a process that began in April of 2018 of trying to strike out the EMBD's case. So what we've had since 2018, multiple appeals. We first of all had the judgment of Justice James Abood in August of 2020, in which the strikeout application was struck down, was dismissed, and the judge found that there was a very strong arguable case to proceed to trial. And after that, the defendants began a process of strategic maneuvering, I would say, to strike out the case and certainly to delay it so that the actual trial of the case has been prevented from starting since the first application to strike out was launched in 2018. And we've had, as I say, several appeals from Justice Abood's judgment. And in fact, we've now had the final appeal, 8th of October 2024, and we received it on the 17th of October. And Privy Council has now finally ruled that all of the attempts, which started in April of 2018 to try to delay the matter and to strike it out, have ended, and the defendants must now put in on the 6th of November the defense that they were scheduled to have put in December 2017.
So there seems to have been that temporary delay with respect to the contractor's appeal with regard to the Privy Council. The trial's advancement, though, how would you say that reflects on our legal system's commitment to ensure accountability and integrity, especially in business dealings?
Well, it reflects positively because what the EMBD has absolutely consistently done is to insist that the case must go forward. They've pleaded a very strong case. 7 judges, Justice Abood in the High Court, 3 judges in the Court of Appeal in Trinidad and Tobago, Justice Peter Rajkumar, Justice Vashish Kokaram, and Justice Charmaine Pemberton, have agreed with the High Court judge, as he then was, Justice Abood, he's now in the Court of Appeal, that the EMBD has made a strong case. And then it went to the Privy Council, and 3 judges of the Privy Council have ruled on the EMBD's strong case to say the case has been made out and it's now you, the defendant's turn to answer the case, so that it has been a good example of a case progressing, notwithstanding many attempts to derail it by defendants who don't want to tell their day in court.
And you're making a very valid point there, because this matter now can have implications for future contracting practices, especially here in Trinidad and Tobago. So what are the potential legal consequences that could arise from failing to submit a defense within that designated timeline?
The potential consequences are, as we have seen here, you can take advantage of a legal system that tries to allow people a fair trial, so that you can take advantage and try to delay the trial as much as possible, and the courts will allow you to make your applications and will hear the applications, and affidavit evidence is filed and written submissions are filed and oral submissions are made by the lawyers, and eventually the case determines that your attempts not to put in your defense must stop and you must put in your defense, And now that we have the final decision of the Apex Court, the Privy Council said, no more delays, put in your defense by the 6th of November 2024. If the defendants fail to put in their defenses on the 6th of November 2024, I think that they will find that the next step will be that the EMBD will proceed to judgment in default of defense.
Thank you very much, A.G. Armour. You know, there are suggestions in the public discourse that the timing of this judgment may be politically influenced or have political motivations or manipulations, if you want to say that. Could you share your perspective on this, particularly regarding the Privy Council's role and its independence from the local political landscape?
Well, precisely. And the fact of the matter is that if the defendants had put in their defense as they were obliged to do in December 2017, we would have had a trial, and that trial would have been concluded long before now. We have a situation now in which, as I have said, 7 judges have pronounced on the attempts to delay the trial. There has been no political manipulation in that. I would balk at the idea and reject the idea that our 7 judges, 4 judges of Trinidad and Tobago and 3 judges of the Privy Council are in any way involved in any political manipulation. I mean, it's just patent nonsense. So that I think that anyone who is suggesting that is really trying to take advantage of a less than discerning public and insulting the intelligence of Trinidadians and Tobagonians.
Well, A.G. Armour, I do want to thank you so very much for giving us your insight this evening on this very important matter that continues in the public domain, and also reminding us that this trial's advancement is a positive reflection for our legal system's commitment to ensuring accountability and integrity in business and business affairs. Thank you so very much, Attorney General.
Thank you very much for having me.